Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you updated with our latest stories. She rolled her eyes like I was overreacting. "It's just dinner with my ex," she said in that careless tone people use when saying, "It's just coffee," or "It's just air." I smiled. Not the kind of smile that says everything's okay, but the quiet kind that comes when you finally realize the storm is already over. You're just standing in the rain because you don't know what else to do. I didn't answer right away. I just watched her leaning against the kitchen counter, still in her work clothes, scrolling through her phone as if she hadn't just dropped a grenade in the middle of our life. My name's Nathan, and I've been married to Jessica for 6 years. Not perfect ones, but real ones. We met in our late 20s, fell in love over shared dreams and cheap takeout meals. I used to think we understood each other better than anyone. But somewhere between the mortgage payments and the daily grind, that bond faded into polite silence. Lately, it felt like we lived side by side, but not together. Same house, same bed, 2 separate worlds. It began small. A sarcastic tone here, a sigh there when I tried to talk about work. Her phone always face down on the table. I told myself she was tired, stressed, distracted. But every excuse felt thinner than the one before. When she mentioned her ex, Kevin, the first time, it was just a name. "He got promoted," she'd said once while scrolling through her messages. Good for him, I thought. We all have a past, right? But soon, Kevin's name started showing up more often, like an uninvited guest haunting our conversations. I noticed the way her voice softened when she mentioned him, how she'd recall little jokes from years ago. "You wouldn't get it. It's an inside thing." She'd laugh. Maybe she was right. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why she still needed that connection when she had me. The night before that dinner, we sat on opposite sides of the couch. The TV was on, but neither of us cared. She was texting again, and I saw that familiar name flash across her screen. "Kevin again?" I asked quietly. She didn't look up. "He's just a friend." I didn't say he wasn't. "You're jealous," she said with a little laugh. "God, Nathan, it's not a big deal." But it was, not because I thought she'd cheat, but because every message she sent him took another small piece of what used to belong to us. When she finally told me she was meeting him for dinner, I asked why. She shrugged. "We're just catching up. You're overreacting." I tried to explain how it looked, how it felt, but every word I said bounced off that same dismissive smirk, the one that said, "You're the problem, not me." So I stopped explaining. I just watched her get ready that evening. Hair done, perfume I hadn't smelled in months. There was a light in her eyes again, but it wasn't for me. She adjusted her necklace in the mirror. And for a second, I wondered if she realized how cruel this was, but she didn't. Or maybe she didn't care. Through the reflection, she met my eyes. "Don't wait up. I'll be back late." I nodded. "Sure." Then she added, almost casually, "It's just dinner with my ex." And that's when something inside me finally went still. No yelling, no pleading, just quiet acceptance, the kind that follows months of pretending not to see the cracks. I smiled, a calm, steady smile. "It's just a divorce." She froze. The perfume bottle slipped a little in her hand. For the first time in years, she looked unsure. "What are you talking about?" she asked. "The same thing you are," I said. Something that used to mean more than it does now. "You're being ridiculous," she snapped. "Maybe," I replied, "but at least I'm done being blind." She left anyway. The door slammed and her car's engine roared down the street. I sat there in the silence that followed. No fireworks, no closure, just a heavy stillness that somehow felt freeing. I looked around at the photos, the furniture, the life we built. It all looked like a museum of memories, things that had mattered once but didn't anymore. That night, I didn't cry, didn't drink, didn't call her. I just sat there, finally seeing the truth. The end wasn't coming. It had already arrived, quietly, disguised as just dinner. Jessica came home close to midnight. Headlights swept across the living room, then faded. I stayed where I was, half in the dark, the hum of the fridge the only sound. She stepped in, heels clicking on the floor, perfume still fresh, like she'd been somewhere that made her feel alive. "You're still up?" she asked lightly. "I told you I wouldn't wait," I said. She frowned, confused by how calm I was. "Nathan, don't start. It was just dinner." "Yeah," I said slowly. "And this is just the end." Her expression tightened. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I'm done trying to convince you that respect matters more than nostalgia." She let out a short, sharp laugh. "You're divorcing me over dinner?" I stood, walked past her to the kitchen, and poured a glass of water. The sound of it filling the glass was louder than either of us wanted it to be. "You've been gone for months," I said quietly. "Dinner was just when you stopped pretending otherwise." She sighed, setting her purse down, arms crossed. "You're overreacting. I'm not cheating on you." "I never said you were," I replied. "But you stopped being here a long time ago." Silence. I could see her trying to spin it to make me the problem again, like she always did. Every time I tried to express something real, she'd label it sensitive, paranoid, insecure. But not this time. "I've already spoken to an attorney," I said evenly. "Everything will be handled fairly. You can stay until you decide what's next." She blinked. "You're not serious." "I am." For once, she had no comeback, no sarcasm, no eye roll, just silence, the kind that tells you everything words can't. She looked around the room like the house had betrayed her, like it should have warned her this was coming. I didn't hate her. I wasn't even angry anymore. The fury had burned out long ago, somewhere between her first excuse and her last shrug. All that remained was clarity, the kind that comes when a long storm finally clears. The next morning, she tried to talk, said she didn't mean to hurt me, that it was innocent, that maybe we could try counseling. I listened, really listened, but it felt like hearing the same movie for the 100th time, the same promises, same endings. "I'm not mad," I said. "I just don't recognize us anymore." She looked small then, like the weight of her choices had finally landed. "So that's it?" she whispered. "Yeah," I said softly. "That's it." That afternoon, I packed a small bag, some clothes, my tools, a framed photo of my dad. The rest could stay. Not all endings need fireworks. Sometimes they just need honesty. When I left, she didn't follow me. She stood by the counter staring at her phone like it might tell her what to feel. I stayed at my brother's place for a few weeks. He didn't ask much, and I didn't explain much. Some nights, I'd sit outside with a beer thinking about how quietly everything had fallen apart. It's strange when you finally release something that's been breaking for years. Peace feels unfamiliar, but eventually it grows. About a month later, she texted me, "I miss you." I stared at the message for a long time. My fingers almost typed back, "I miss who we used to be." But instead, I deleted it. Some messages don't deserve an answer. I turned off my phone and watched the sunset fade into gold. For the first time in a long while, I felt like myself again. People think revenge is loud, yelling, breaking things, getting even. But the real kind? It's quiet. It's peace. It's walking away when they expect you to beg. She taught me that, not through love, but through loss. And maybe that's what it was all for. To teach me that sometimes the bravest thing a man can say isn't, "I forgive you," or "I'll fight for you." It's just one calm, final sentence, spoken with a steady smile. It's just a divorce.